episode. Gas Network presents sports for the culture.
I'm here with the family.
Price, XXV, Double I,
Rome,
D-Melo,
Gruff Lion,
T-Buggy, man.
to the greatest sports show on the planet, La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, it's Gruff Lion. I'm the host for the evening. Back from a little hiatus. Back for, we got some good stuff for you, man. We keeping it fresh and funky for you, fresh and fit, as some other people on the internet say. Top right, introduce yourself.
It's your boy D-Melo, and I'm wearing the latest designer hot trash, the New York Giants, and anything that represent New York sports.
Yeah, well, I like the color choice. They got y'all with the perfect color of diarrhea doo-doo brown.
Hey, this is support the troops. Yeah, you heard? Supports the troops.
Oh, excuse me. Apologies. Apologies. No shade to the vets. Salute to service. Thank you for your service, all vets listening. We gas supports. They support the troops. Bottom box.
T-Buggy, man. Hey, you wash hands, wash ass. Support the truth and peace in the Middle East and all of that good stuff, man. Quick story about my day. You know what I'm saying? My laptop died. I had to go into the office. I come back. There's a lot of blue and white flags. I forgot there was a rally in DC on there with my Aki beard and my Yeezys, and I'm like, oh man, I was a little out of place today on my ride home, so it's good to be in my brothers today, So I'm ready to get a good show going.
I feel that, bro. I feel that they probably was making judgments about you, and it's okay. Like honestly, I'm saying, I'm the type of person I like to buy things when the stock is low. That's my philosophy. I just bought a pair of Yeezys about last week. This is the lowest they've ever been. Great time to buy them. Very comfortable sneakers. They're most comfortable sneakers I've ever had. All right, fellas, let's get into the show, man. We're gonna get into it. First topic is gonna be about a little bit of a little scandal. We're gonna talk about the Michigan Wolverines scandal. Or is it a scandal? Is it wrong? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Michigan got caught up. Basically, apparently they were sending people to the games, watching their other team signals, trying to get a heads up on the signal to get a competitive advantage, particularly when it came to, I believe it was Ohio State and a couple other schools. Obviously, Michigan, finally got the monkey off their back, beat Ohio State last year. And then that's a big thing. They finally did that. But did they do that with the ammunition of cheating? What it was, potentially was it cheating? Was it cheating? Do you think it's cheating to go and learn the other team's signs? I guess technically in the NFL you can do that, or something of that nature. But ultimately they they had a whole process and investigations at the end of it. You know how that goes. They dropped the hammer down, and the punishment was for Jim Harbaugh to get the suspension for the remainder of the regular season. He will be allowed to practice with the team, but he will not be able to attend games. As you've seen, they had an assistant coach coaching, and he was very emotional at the end of the game. Very emotional at the end of the game. But ultimately, my question for you guys is: what are your thoughts on the scandal? Do you feel like it was a violation of this, of the ethics within the sport of college football? And do y'all feel like the punishment met the crime? T, I want to start with you since you're obviously involved in youth sports. Obviously, you're a man of integrity, and I'd like to hear your opinion.
No, I don't think. I wouldn't call that cheating, right? Unethical doesn't ride the line yet, but so does a lot. But sign stealing, and I'll tell you, exactly why. Because they're called plays with signs. You can literally go in the huddle like they do in the NFL. I think it's preventing your team from huddling up and calling the play in the huddle, coming out. Also added to the fact that there's film on every single game. You know what I'm saying? The video doesn't lie. So all they did was just do, and most teams probably did. Is it lowbrow? Maybe. Is it illegal? And does the punishment fit the crime? Yeah, I think so. It was a phony crime. Yeah, it fits. He gets to get his team ready and hand the keys, and he gets to come back for the postseason. No harm, nobody wins except the teams that lost to Michigan.
Now, my thing is, do you think he should be practicing, like in practice? Because he basically gets to prep them up and he sends them off to war, and then, comes back and, he tells them what adjustments to make. Like, I know in the NFL when they had that situation with the Cardinals, I believe it was, they didn't let the dude in the building, They was over here texting the man off the burner phone, So should he be allowed to practice?
I actually think it matters much. Like, it's not like Harbaugh's calling the plays, you know what I'm saying? On either to run the team, control the tempo, that sort of thing. If it was a real crime, then it should have been a real punishment, and he shouldn't be allowed on the premises. He shouldn't even be on campus and don't walk around school. But other than that, no, it's cool, man. NCAA is about making money and, keeping one of their best coaches out of the, the rest of the season would be crazy, especially for what they got.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. For the most part, though. I mean, G, I can be swayed, though. G, what do you think, man, about this Michigan sign stealing scandal? Do you feel like it was foul? Do you feel like the punishment was acceptable?
First of all, the Big Ten is overreacting. Because second of all, Jim Harbaugh hasn't played for the first 6 games of the season because he was suspended already for something that he was accused of last year, and then to come and say the Michigan needed to cheat against a bunch of boo-boo schools like Central Michigan. Are you kidding me? Like, did they really need it against Rutgers? Like, look at those teams being accused of allegedly sign stealing. Like, these are the teams that got blown out. None of these were like close games. And second of all, like, it's just a witch hunt. We all know that they don't like him. Like, this guy, they've been trying to find a way to get this guy out of Michigan. Stop the recruits from going over there. Like, come on now. I think this is all a witch hunt. He should not be suspended. Like, if the case was to be, if the NCAA had the proof of him sign stealing, then why not say it from the beginning? Why wait? They came out with this news about a month ago, and to now try to punish him for the last 3 games of the season? Like, come on now. And on top of that, to kick Michigan out of the playoffs, it's a reach. Now, if you're telling me this guy was sign stealing and there's proof against, like, Ohio State, look what they did against Penn State. I think they only threw the ball like 8 times, and they rushed, and they just kept on. It was a rush game the whole time. Come on now. They beat him with a rush. They didn't beat him without the pass. Like, I think this is all a witch hunt. Michigan does not deserve this. And I'm a ride with Jim. I like the bad guy. It's like what Scarface said, man. Everybody's scared to be the bad. They need to point the finger at somebody. And he wants to be the bad guy. I like that. I'm the bad guy.
I'll say this. I like your take, G. But I will say this to poke some holes in your theory. Now, typically, if something happens, the first time it happens, you might get away with it, right? You might get away with it for a while. But when people get wind of something, you know what they say. There's an expression in criminal justice. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So maybe they just couldn't prove anything last year. Maybe, they were just like, something's a little fishy here. And then they started watching him. And then they compiled their case. And then they say, hey, look what I got on you. And, then they unveil their case, because chances are, if it doesn't, I agree, that doesn't make sense. Why would you steal signs for Rutgers and all these other boo-boo schools? But, if you were stealing signs last season and they're like, what the fuck just happened? And then you're like, you know what? Let's keep an eye on those guys. Something's weird going over there. And then you start seeing it this season, and then you start compiling your case. And if you're saying he already has a bad track record, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Should it be legal at all to do this? I think that's another thing that's worth talking about, like T mentioned.
I mean, but who doesn't sign still? You had Nick Saban and all these other players when the news originally broke. They started laughing. Like you check Twitters, everybody's like, "Well, isn't that a part of the sport to peep some of your opposing team signs to see what's gonna come up next?" They do it all the time. Come on, I don't want to hear. This sounds like a witch hunt. It sounds like they don't want Michigan in the playoffs. They don't want to see two big what is it? The Big Ten programs inside these playoffs, and so that's why they're making a big fuss.
All right, fair enough. So I think the consensus here is that maybe it was a little bit too harsh, and maybe it potentially is not even a violation at all. It'd be interesting to hear from the other side. Fans out there, if you're listening, if you got any thoughts on this, definitely drop some comments. Anybody that's tuning in, we will be covering fantasy football lineup suggestions. Drop in your lineup, who you want to, sit or start, and we'll review all of them and let you know who to start in your league. You know what I'm saying? Because as you know, we know our shit, man.
So this the thing that confuses me about the sign stealing, right? And I could be wrong on this because I don't know football play calling at the college level, but if a play, right, wouldn't it's not still you give me the sign like if you use the sign the week before you use the same sign on the same play that on game day against me, like crazy, because even if I didn't send somebody to watch the game, and could call, a friend could call, like it doesn't take any real amount. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to be Jack Reacher to figure out what's going on. Literally sign play. So I see this sign, they're calling this play. So it's
yeah, valid point. All right, man. I mean, I'll make some good points. Let's go ahead and put a bow in that conversation, and let's move over to the NFL. We had an interesting week this week. Actually, I'm going to ask y'all first. Out of the games last week, which one of them? There's some interesting things that happened here. The Browns beat the Ravens. The Patriots lost again. The Steelers continue to win. The Vikings played extremely well. Josh Dobbs was kind of one of the biggest stories in the league. CJ Stroud had a big week, another big win. He outdueled Joe Burrow. I think that was a pretty big notable news. The Lions have continued to win. Kyler Murray came back. The Cowboys stomped out the Giants. That's not really news. The Raiders continue to win. And the Bills lost on Monday night to, in my opinion, a quarterback that's washed up. So out of all those things that happened, what is your biggest takeaway from anything that happened this weekend? Open floor. T, I'm going to start with you. You look ready. So I'll go with you.
Josh Allen and the Bills, I mean, they fired the offensive coordinator. I say that because there's a lot of debates about a lot of different quarterbacks, right? Kyler's back, Lamar Jackson's performance, Brock Purdy. Quarterback seems to be the most debated thing in sports right now. And Josh is just finding a way to not get it done. Now, weapon staff, the receivers, talent around them. I guess that's no matter. At the end of the day, a guy that elite lose the way they did, right?
We lost T.
12 minutes. My bad. Can you hear me? I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
My fault. Had to take a quick call from a gas parent. But yeah, man. The Josh Allen one blows my mind because most franchises are starving for this elite quarterback, and it just goes to show you that an elite quarterback still needs a system, and they still need things to fall in place. So the Bills kind of choking that game away. That was the one for me.
Okay. G, you got any? What do you think? What do you think? Do you think that's the biggest story of the week with the Josh Allen thing, or what do you think is the biggest story of the week for the NFL this past week?
I want to say it's iffy for me right now. I'm gonna let's stick with the AFC North. For me right now, it's between the Bengals and Texans game, and then the Browns and the Ravens game. And I want to sprinkle a little bit of Minnesota love, because even look how Minnesota's been playing with Dobbs to come back and win that game too, like against who they played.
Saints.
Playing the Saints, yeah, and that was a close game until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stick with the fall of the Ravens and how the defense just that fourth quarter when these guys have these large leads, how that fourth quarter just get lackluster, and then that offense is so stagnant that it can't score. In the fourth, when you have such a large lead, they just can't. They just take the foot off the gas. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say the fact that the Ravens just gave up that game against the Browns, because in the beginning, in the first half, what was it like 9 to like 27 or 24 going into half?
The Ravens were up halftime 24-9.
So you mean to tell me they only were able to score one more touchdown in the second half? Like, that's 24. It wasn't like 30. What was it? 36.
They lost the game 33-31.
So wouldn't it have been a touchdown? It was 24. But yeah, they only scored one more touchdown in the second half.
Nah, my bad. 17 that half. My bad.
Oh, okay. So 17. The score only 17 in your first half. The defense is responsible for one of those touchdowns. I mean, so that alone is like, come on now. That offense Lamar Jackson has to be a little bit more prolific. And the fact that Mitchell, he came in to score that TD on a 36-yard pass, like on a 36-yard run to be exact. I think there's just they can't just let the foot off the gas offensively, and the defense just couldn't stop the Browns from there on out. Like Deshaun Watson had a decent game, and I want to say that C.J. Stroud is in the top 5. If not top 3 talks about MVP this year for a rookie. He's deserving of a vote.
Top 3.
I mean, I think he's playing very well. I don't think he's the best quarterback in the league, but I think he's playing the position about as good as anybody in the league right now. And to outdo Joe Burrow is no small task. I watched the game the week prior when they won the game in. I'm not sure if it was overtime or whatever, but it was a last minute drive, Tank Dell touchdown. That was actually some of the most captivating football I've seen this season in terms of like a game winning drive. Like it was good stuff, and it wasn't like it was sexy. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like he was hitting some bull. Like he was hitting the receivers in stride, hitting some, they were playing Madden out there, they were running some post corners, deep routes, you know what I'm saying? They really airing it out, bro. They're not doing no slants to the house. Like they're doing like, he's actually precision passing, hitting the guys where they need to hit them. And, actually, I mean, really turning these receivers into, like not say superstars, but he's like, they're lighting it up. And he can do it with any of them. And it's not like he has a true number one receiver. Nico Collins has had moments. Noah Brown's had some moments. Tank Dell's had some huge moments. It seems like Tank Dell might be the favorite receiver of the bunch. But, it's hard to say, man. Either way, CJ Stroud definitely a great player. I want to definitely give a shout out to Josh Dobbs. We're gonna talk fantasy football a little bit later. I'm a little peeved in myself because I traded Josh Dobbs because I thought he was never gonna start again. And it was the Josh Dobbs revenge story for me in fantasy football. Josh Dobbs beat me. Like, I could have had him on my bench. Or, I could have had him as my second quarterback. And he came and he said, you know what? Fuck you, Scruff. And you know what? He's actually my favorite story in the NFL right now. I've always watched the draft. I watched these drafts for years now. And, all my years of watching the draft is finally, it's paid dividends on guys like Josh Dobbs. Because I remember watching him, in the draft and remembering, like, oh, yeah, this is the rocket science guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, this guy studied rocket science. I was like, this guy is smart as fuck. Like, and he's very memorable in a sense, because he has forgive me, I don't know the name of what he suffers from with the why he doesn't have like eyebrows and stuff. But
alopecia.
There we go, alopecia. Thank you very much, T. He's a great story. It's a great story, bro. Who the hell, bro? I've seen the video. He got to the locker room. He got there. It was not last week, but a week before that. He got there to the game or whatever, and then he's like, which way is the locker room? And the security was like, it's that way. It's like he didn't even know where the locker room's at, bro. You're taking snaps with the center for the first time last week. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't even know the playbook barely. I mean, he must be smart as fuck, bro, for real. Because, Mr. Rocket Scientist just took the playbook and he learned it. Like, the rookie that was there the whole season couldn't do diddly squat, and Rocket Scientist came in there and just started balling. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call that man Rocket Man from now on or something, bro. But dude, smart as fuck, clearly, bro. And then he came in the next week with a week of practice and had probably his best performance of the season. They outplayed the Saints, who, with all due respect, are a mid-level team. They're a high-level mid, probably mid-level mid. And I'm, just come in the first week on the offense and just light it up, bro. Definitely one of my favorite stories right now. It's a true tale of resilience. People he went under the radar for so long. I think people forget that he was on the Steelers. He backed up Big Ben. He tells stories about, Coach Tomlin. He said, no one gives a fuck, more or less. I don't think that's what exactly he said. Nobody gives a fuck about your what you had to do to get to whatever the fuck. They don't care. They want to see you take whatever it is that your obstacles are and overcome them, and and ball out. And he's doing that. So shout out to Josh Dobbs. Definitely probably one of my favorite stories in the NFL right now. Yeah, besides that, I didn't even mention the 49ers because, I guess that's a story because they did blow out the Jaguars. But honestly, I never really believed in the Jaguars. So there's that. Yeah. And I'd like also give an honorable mention to the Las Vegas Raiders. I'll tell you why. Your boy, Antonio Pierce. I like this guy. I remember when he played for the Giants, old big head motherfucker, playing linebacker. You know what I'm saying? He's a good line. He's an interesting guy, bro. I like him. He's a cool guy. He's a player's coach. And you know what? he said, you know what? I think we should get this guy Devontae Adams the ball. Genius. Like, what didn't take a genius to figure that out? So there's so many layers to the Raiders story because it's like, I heard so many stories about how that went down. I heard that I heard that Josh McDaniels, they had a players and coaches meeting, and they were like, let's just vent. Everybody was tearing this man up. And, Antonio Pierce talking about how, like, back when the Giants beat the Patriots, they had that mentality that they could beat anybody. And that's the mentality that the Raiders have to have. At that moment, the owner saw that the locker room was split, decided to get rid of Josh McDaniels. I also heard a story that Josh McDaniels dressed up as the owner, Mark Davis, as for Halloween, and ordered his favorite meal, which is the owner bought him his favorite meal, which is P.F. Chang's, and he said he opened up the fortune cookie, and the fortune cookie said, "You're fired." I don't know if that's true or not, bro. And you got a lot going on with the Raiders. You got Max Crosby out here slipping up, saying the N-word, smoking backwoods on the interviews. Hey, this is wild times in Las Vegas, bro. But I like it.
Makes for compelling TV, I suppose. They're not a good football team.
No, exactly. Well, that's why I think that the coaching job is something worth keeping an eye on. I think 2 years ago they had the situation where they had Dennis Allen, I believe it was, and they rallied behind Dennis Allen. They were like, "Yeah, we love this guy. Let's give him the head coaching job." And they said, "You know what? Fuck what you guys think." And companies do that all the time. They do it all the time. Like, yeah, we love this guy right here, the interim guy. We love him, and they're like, you know what? We're gonna go with someone that we feel like is more qualified than X, Y, and Z, and he's just some fucking Josh McDaniels head ass motherfucker. Because like, who likes Josh? Like, let's talk about Josh McDaniels for a quick second too. This man, what the fuck is wrong with this man? He can't do shit. It's like I don't know. I guess it's like because of your environment, you become who you are, and like it's like I guess he was just used to just being like dealing with weird ass Bill Belichick and just living on his own island. From what I heard, is they said this man wasn't like. He was clueless, I believe was what they said. He was clueless. He just lived in his own island, and it was just, it was interesting. And I guess maybe working with Bill Belichick can, make for a siloed workplace. And, that's not exactly a good workplace to work in. I think we all understand that. Closing thoughts on, oh, no, he disrespectful. He said dogs look like powder. Nah, man. Respect on Dobbs. Put some respect on Dobbs, man. Any closing thoughts on last week's NFL games before we jump into this week's NFL games, the picks of the week?
I do want to say, just as a non, thank you for Chase Young. Looked like it worked, man. Looked like it's gonna. I also do want to shout out Josh Dobbs, man. Like quarterback sports, and to go to multiple stops and be able to handle yourself. Anything else from last week? Tender in the midst, and it's not Bengals. Pretenders. I told folks Joe Burrow would never go back to a Super Bowl. Pretty sure I'm right about that. Pretenders. I know they got.
I believe you switched your mind not too long ago.
Hey, all right, I like that. I like it.
Saying I switched. Well, I'm switching back.
Nah, you said you did. You. I don't think you switched. I missed it if you did.
Yeah, I typically don't switch.
That's what she said.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, but yeah, man, the bank was pretend frauds. Joe Burrow's probably going to get that coach.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he had that coach looking like the man last few seasons. We shall see, bro. We shall see. All right, let's get into it, man. You just brought up Joe Burrow and the Bengals. And there's a big game coming up, man, this week. In my opinion, y'all know I got a little job, working in the sports business. I was one of the games I circled on my calendar, bro. We got a party suite for this week for the Thursday night game. It's about to be a movie. I'm lit. I'm about to be super lit at this game, enjoying the hell out of this duel between the Cincinnati Bengals, who we know T's not too fond of, against the Ravens, who, T, you're not too fond of them either, especially. So the Bengals are at the Ravens, man. The Ravens are getting 3.5 points. Over under on that game is 46. What are your thoughts on that game? I think that's the best Thursday night matchup that we've seen all year. I'm looking forward to this game because this has major postseason implications. Ravens is coming off a loss. Bengals also coming off a loss. Very interesting. G, I'm gonna start with you. Since this is kind of like your best area here.
So they're giving them 46, right? 9.5, just 46 straight up.
Yep.
Ooh. And Thursday night games have been known to go under like a motherfucker. But I think this one is gonna be that one Thursday night that goes over and give me the Ravens to win, to cover the over. But is that 3 to Baltimore?
3.5. 3.5.
I think it's gonna be Baltimore only winning by 3. I can't see them winning by 4 points. So by a point.
I think the best advice I could give anybody is if you see a spread as 3.5 or 7.5, you want to get under or where that threshold of 3 or 7, because obviously that's a major factor that they could be under that or over that. It's very tricky. That's the only advice I would give you. And if it adjusts your spread line of how you're going to get paid out a little bit, I'm going to tell you the number one rule of everything when it comes to money: don't get greedy. T, let me hear your opinion about the Bengals versus the Ravens. We got a nice little showdown here. Who do you got in this one and why?
I got a team. If it comes down to just somebody making a play, Chase done or is he coming back?
Who?
He's done, right? Jamar Chase.
He's playing. It's T. Higgins is the one that's not playing.
Higgins is out because I have that bum on my fantasy team. But he could cause some problems because the Ravens secondary, I'm not too fond. I do think the Ravens have the firepower in the team to shoot it out. And the over, and I like the Ravens with the. I like the Ravens by maybe 6 or so.
Oh wow, you're taking the spread. Wow.
So Jamar Chase is no longer on the injury report as of today.
Okay, so I think that game's gonna be. I think they're gonna score some Thursday night game. Normally they're under. Normally they're kind of boring, but know each other. I don't think this is the typical Thursday night game, just because it's in a division. But I'm going with the team that has the more dynamic. Lamar, Flowers, Ravens have found their running game lately. OBJ just took a slant to the house. Like, I think those got over in the points, and the Ravens to beat those pretenders.
I like it, T. I think I'm a little uncertain about the spread. I would personally, if I would buy the points down to 2.5, but I do think that the Bengals will probably. I mean, the Ravens will probably cover the game. It's at home. The Ravens play very well at home. If they get up early, that's good. But I think after the last game, they want to make sure they keep the pedal to the metal. And that's, I think, the biggest flaw.
Hey, coming off of that loss, man, they got something to prove.
Yeah, I agree. And I think they go under in this game. 46 points. My prediction is 23-17 Ravens. I think we'll see a little more defense than expected here. All right, let's see what's another good game to pick. Boo-boo matchups this week, to be honest. Steelers and the Browns. Let's talk about that one. Steelers and the Browns. Steelers are some team that just, like Al Davis said, we just win, baby, win. They just win, man. They just find a way to win. They don't even look good doing it, but they do win. Tell you that. And the Browns, probably the best defense in the NFL. I think that's safe to say. Coming off another good win against the Ravens. We just talked about that. That game is Browns are -4 in that game, and the spread is 37. 37 over under. Who you got in that game and why, T?
Like for the reason you just named, man. Browns defense, man. I don't think there's any getting past the Browns defense in this one. Now with Pickett. The Steelers would need a few explosive plays from Pickens, and I don't see that happening. The best thing that the Steelers can do right now is run the ball. They got two. He's actually Warren. He's a little bit better than Najee, in my opinion. Or at least he's putting up just than Najee when he gets it. But they're not going to run the ball going for that. Like the Browns aren't going for that. Everything the Steelers do good, the Browns do equal. Give me the Browns in a low-scoring game.
Okay,
and
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. G, man, what are your thoughts on the Browns versus the Steelers divisional matchup?
What's the over/under in that game?
Your listening skills need work.
Was it 30?
It is 37.
It's divisional. I'll take the over on that game. I could easily see the Browns score like at least 27 points. And then you could easily say the Steelers score 14 points.
If the Browns score 27, who has the Njoku?
Amari Cooper, Kareem Hunt.
Okay.
Ford, that defense, because you're talking about Jordan Pickett trying to not throw an interception to the house.
Kenny Pickett, yeah.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett. That's it, Jordan Pickett. Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett and Zach Wilson are like the same players, just in different uniforms. They're bums. And matter of fact, and throw Danny DeVito there too. Another bum. This is a bum fest.
Y'all got tell Danny DeVito. I love his dad, and it's sunny in Philadelphia.
Hold on. Is that his dad?
No,
It's not. It's not.
Jesus
Wait, is that his first name, Danny? Or is it Tommy?
It's Tommy, but we say Danny DeVito because it sounds better.
All right, fair enough. All right, there's a lot of other games here. This is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna pick one more game, and then we're gonna pick an upset. So go ahead and take a look at it. While you're waiting about those games. Next big game is gonna be the Monday night game. I think it's the biggest game of the week, obviously. Considering the fact that it's a Super Bowl rematch between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs, aka Taylor Swift's favorite team. So some of us were like the Eagles. Some I believe the Eagles have a chip on their shoulder. I believe Jalen Hurts has a chip on his shoulder. I believe he had a chip on his shoulder against the Miami Dolphins when he saw his former teammate who they benched him for. I think that pisses him off. They even asked him to get. I actually almost saw him give a real answer. Then he went right back into robot mode, and he was like, "No, it's just a regular game." I'm like, he approached that shit differently, and you're gonna approach this one differently too. This is the Chiefs. He says Jalen Hurts' background on this phone is a picture of him in this confetti, just taking it all in. That really sucks. You know what I mean? Eagles are at the Chiefs. Chiefs are home. Chiefs are -3 in this game. 46 is the over/under. G, who do you have in this game and why?
46. Ooh. And you said it's at Arrowhead, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna come down to two things. Who quarterback plays the best? Who plays better? Because one quarterback is dealing with an injury, the other quarterback is dealing with a bunch of butterfinger fucks. Nobody knows how to catch a fucking ball and do their fucking job. Damn.
That's a fact.
This is true. And then
That's a fact.
and both teams have legit defenses. You can say that. The Chiefs are
Pretty good defense, I'd say.
You know what? I just to jinx you fucks, I'm gonna say I think Philly could win, and it's an over game.
All right, that's cool. I mean, I agree with you. I'll get into my points in a second. I'm gonna let T Boogie take the floor. Eagles and Chiefs, man. Super Bowl rematch. Who you got?
Chiefs reached that place kind of like Brady for me, where it's just not going to happen. I don't care if he's hurt, any versus no receivers. He could be playing crap. Said the crap and against Mahomes, bro. You know what I'm saying? And his powers and his mystique, Taylor Swift to his boy somehow. The Chiefs, media darling at this point, and it bodes well to have Swift. So I'm side with the script makers and the greatness of Patrick Mahomes.
All right, that's interesting. I'm going to go with the Eagles. No shocker there. I like the over also. 46 points, bro. Maybe for Kansas City, I could see that being, a fair number because, their offense isn't really doing that good. But no, not us. We're killing it, bro. AJ Brown is going bananas, bro. Bananas. Absolutely bananas.
Bananas.
Bro. I'll tell you why. There's a few good reasons why I think the Eagles are gonna win. One, Jalen Hurts. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's pissed off, bro. He has something to prove about this game. He remembers the confetti dropping on him last year. He didn't like it. And the Chiefs aren't playing. They haven't really been playing that well. Two, Travis Kelce. He's unfocused, man. This man's out there he's out there at the concerts, bro. He's out at the concerts. He's over here being a Ken doll. That's what he's doing on his bye week. Sure. You do that. You know what Jalen Hurts is doing on his bye week? Getting fucking gritty, bro. Getting in the gym. Getting down to business. Working extra hard, bro. That's what he's doing.
It sounds like your man gets no bitches.
He gets plenty of bitches. Reason number 3. He's not over here, doing all that socialite shit. Yeah, I feel it. Fergalicious. Bananas. Eagles and Chiefs, like I said. Third reason. The Kelce brother rivalry, man. I think Jason's tired of all the bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? Travis Kelce is a Super Bowl champion. Twice. Fuck all that shit. Fuck all that bullshit, man. He's tired of his mama showing the other boy love. He was like, you know what? Fuck you, pretty boy. the big boys, Travis Kelce just got recently named one of the, in the candidate for one of the sexiest men on the planet, man. With all due respect, that's a major win for the big boys, bro. That's a major win for us, bro. All the big boys with the beards and the bellies. It's a win. It's a win, bro. I even saw Travis. I even seen Jason Kelce at the a local Philly cheesesteak spot, and they was trying Joan on my man. They started trying to roast on my man. He said, "Boy, your neck big as shit." And he said, "What you talking about over there, looking like Michael Strahan in the mouth?" I was like, "Oh shit!" Jason Kelce's in the zone, bro. The tush push, guaranteed tush push. That's a lock. Bet on Jalen Hurts to get a touchdown, anytime touchdown on the tush push. I wish there could be a bet on the tush push specifically. I guarantee tush push is going to be in full effect, bro. They can't stop it, bro. They can't stop it, bro. And those are all the reasons why I think the Eagles will win. And if you want to make it a Taylor Swift thing, Taylor Swift is an Eagles fan. She gonna show up to that game, and if she show up to that game in an Eagles jersey, it's super lights out for y'all boys, right? Super lights out. He was out with 10s, but it looked very friendly. It looked very cordial. It looked very respectful. It didn't really give any type of promiscuous vibes.
Yep. That's a loser.
All right, whatever. That's a man that's focused. That's a
man
that's focused. That's a man that's focused, man. That's a man that's focused.
Yeah. Snowfall, as Jerome from Snowfall will say, "What a bitches! What a bitches!"
Yeah, you see how he turned out, didn't you, right?
My man went out gangster for the shorty.
He went out like a chump.
He did it for the shorty.
All right, man. I'm expecting you all to look at the games. I have looked at the games. I want everyone to go around the room and give me your upset of the week. Let me clearly define what an upset is. This is with the spread, without the spread, whatever the hell you want to make it, man. A situation where underdog is going to win, or at least cover the spread. G, I'm gonna start with you.
I know this is no surprise, but and the Giants are going to do this to me. This is not to give me Caleb Williams, but I'm okay because I'll be getting voice messages, video recordings of Rome and Bryce crying this weekend on why they still can't beat the booty ass Giants this Sunday night. I know that the Giants are going to beat the Commanders this weekend, and I'll guarantee that shit. I guarantee that shit. You'll be here next Tuesday night, and Rome and Bryce will have a garbage bag on their face. Both of them. And by mean garbage bag, not the shit that you could just plug up. It's going to be a full, they're just going to be swimming in doo-doo because they just can't beat the Giants.
Okay. I like that. T, what you think?
I actually haven't looked at the game, so I think I've been doing pick'em pretty decently. I don't need I'm at the top, but I don't know. Oh, nice Christmas tree.
I'm trying to be festive,
I like it. I actually like it.
We festive today.
I haven't looked. But
fair enough.
I think Washington's a little better than people give them credit for. They found
Washington's -10 though. That's kind of silly.
Well, the Giants.
Silly. I know the Giants are in a tough place, but -10. Come on now, bro. It's a divisional game. They
laid down and let Dallas spank them. They'll probably lay down and let the Commanders. I think that's you gotta you kind of gotta watch a spread like that, right? Vegas could be luring you in I was betting. But yeah, I don't really have an upset of the week. I just haven't had the chance games.
All right. Well, I got one. And this is a big one. Ooh. I got two. One of these is gonna hit, guarantee you. First one. The Raiders and the Dolphins. Dolphins are minus 12, bro. I'll tell you what's a lock. The Raiders will cover the 12 points. I guarantee you that. I guarantee that the Raiders cover that 12 points. I guarantee they will cover the 12 points. I think this is what I would do. I would bet money on them to cover, and then I throw a little extra money on the money line. Because the money line at 12 points is going to hit crazy, bro. It's going to hit crazy, bro. And then another one that I like equally in the same way. Buccaneers at 49ers. I think Baker Mayfield is gonna ball out against, Brock Purdy, who's probably just about as talented as he is, to be honest. And I think Buccaneers are gonna also cover the 11 points. And I think that they have a chance to win the game. But they'll definitely cover the 11 points. I know that much.
Nick, if you're in danger, blink twice.
Go ahead.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Are you like taking hardcore drugs or something, brother?
I'm trying to drive the revenue for a FanDuel Sportsbook.
That sounds crazy.
I'm dead ass though. I'm going to play these picks, bro. I'm going to play these picks. Play them.
I mean,
with me.
But I typically try to stay away from it. I don't want to give too many pick'ems out, but
yeah,
the Raiders are not going. There's no way. Miami's coming off a bye. People have healed up. I think this one's going to get ugly. The quarterback.
Wait, H ain't coming back?
I believe he's coming back this week.
All right, I don't know. Then I might have to renege on that one because
I believe he's coming back this week. So
now you know what? I'm buying the Raiders. I'm buying Antonio Pierce. I'm buying the vibes, bro. He had the practice squad on the sideline last week, bro.
Antonio Pierce,
good reason.
He's like another version of Dan Campbell, man. Those guys are all rah, and it works early.
It does work.
And honestly, but that stuff's gonna fizzle out, man. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right, that'll pretty much do it for the NFL picks of the week. Very briefly, I want to go into we'll just keep this one short. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'll just say one must-start fantasy football option this week. G, I'm gonna start with you.
Oh, give me CJ Stroud as your quarterback. Must start.
Okay. T.
Shoot, I got it. It's gonna be a big week for Tyreek Hill. I think it's gonna be a big week for Sam Howell. I think this could potentially be a big week for my boy, who up to my expectations, Devontae Smith. So give you some good minutes. And this people's flex or bench, but Warren, hopefully if you have stairs, but I think a game like the Ravens could be a game where like you start to take Najee's place, but I'd play him this weekend.
All right, I got two for y'all. Somebody that's high end and somebody that's low end. High end. I'm on Ross St. Brown. Actually, I got 3 for y'all. Fuck it. I'm on Ross St. Brown
All right.
versus the Bears. The Bears are pathetic. So, and I'm on Ross St. Brown is on fire. Probably going to be on par with that Tyreek Hill level of production. I'm talking like number 1 or 2, 3, top 3 fantasy players this week. Another one I like is I missed it. Where'd he go?
CeeDee Lambs.
CeeDee Lamb.
Hell yeah, he's been balling out. The last 3 games, he's averaging over 25 points. Against the Giants, he gave up like 30 something, like damn near almost 40. The game before that against Philly, it was
on
like
the heater.
27. He's been on a streak since his bye week.
No, that's a good one, G. That's a great one. Lamb's
CeeDee
been
Lambs.
very hot lately. That G.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go with Tank Dell against the Cardinals. Tank Dell's been hot. He's been the favorite receiver of CJ Stroud. They have chemistry. CJ's been balling. They're going up against the Cardinals. I don't know that the Cardinals have a good secondary, not a bad secondary. I don't see them being a good defense. There's that. And then on the lower end, I have a guy who I think is maybe a speculative flex play, and I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start him in my league. Keaton Mitchell. I picked him up before anyone knew who he was. I am proud to say that, because I was at training camp. That boy fast. Versus the Bengals. He had a huge game 2 weeks ago. Breakout performance. One of the best running back performances with limited carries. And then again, against the Browns defense. I know that the Browns have the best run defense in the NFL. So to do that in the Browns defense again with limited carries, you'd have to be an idiot. You'd have to be as dumb as Jim Harbaugh to get caught missing out on this Keaton Mitchell train, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get caught, missing out on the Keaton Mitchell train, bro. That's a good look, bro. I'm starting him versus the Bengals. A speculative bench flex play. It's a boom or bust. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Everybody got different. You get, the way I'm going in fantasy football is I'm going for the boom guys. Like I'm going for the boom guys. I don't want the 6-point guys. Like give me go hard. We gonna go hard or we gonna go home, bro. Like seriously at this point. And Keaton Mitchell's a guy that can get you there. Yeah. I think that pretty much covers it for me. Last, anybody else? We're gonna do a quick "What are you watching?" and then we're gonna end this thing.
Noah Brown. If you guys can pick up Noah Brown, pick him up.
Okay, I like that.
He's available. He's still available.
I think all 3 receivers are supremely underrated. As much credit as CJ gets, back that has weapons, and it's not a situation of he's making those guys are ballers, man. I think he's got 3 really good guys to play with, and that's kind of rare.
Yeah. He's got 3 pretty good receivers. None of them are really outstanding, I'd say.
I don't know, bro.
They're pretty good though. Nico's pretty good.
I'm saying you got 2 big bodies on the outside, and you got a little fast guy in the middle. Tank might be what modern day football is heading towards, but we'll see.
Don't it sound like the Bengals from like 2 years ago when they went to the Super Bowl when everybody had like over 1,000 between Boyd,
kind of
Higgins,
and Chase. Yeah.
Really, if you look at all these 3 guys, they're like basically the same guys, almost the same physique. All 3 of these.
Similar.
They had the fast guy, the strong guy, and then the short guy with speed.
Yep, and then there was a young team too, a pretty young team. All right, last but not least, what are you watching? One of my favorite segments on the show, man. We share some of the things that we're watching right now. I just finished watching. I don't know if y'all are into the reality TV wave. I started getting into the reality TV show a little bit. Big Brother, Big Brother. They just finished that season last week. I just finished watching Big Brother. Shout out to my man. What's my man name? My man Jag, the first Indian player to win Big Brother. You feel me? Holding it down for the peoples, bro. You feel me? I respect that, bro. And this man actually got voted off of Big Brother to actually come back and win, which is crazy. Somebody like saved him. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy.
How do you stay or go? Like what? How's that determined? Like what are these?
It's like challenges. Yeah, it's do things. It's challenges. So basically, like every week, it's like three like episodes, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in between. It's a game of strategy and manipulation and challenges.
Okay.
So they'll have like a challenge every week, right? And then basically the house, there's two competitions every week. It's called the head of household. Whoever wins that joint, it'd be the head of household, and they determine who gets to go on the block. 2 people go on the block every week until eventually it gets down to like the final 3, right? Okay. So then, the head of household decides who is, going to be on the block. So once the head of household wins that competition, people basically not sucking up to the head of household, or you have to be you have to play nicely. Yeah, you got to play nicely with the head of household. Whatever the head of household going to set the agenda for what that is that week. And like typically what happens is, once that is, you don't want to go against the head of household. You don't want to vote against the trend because then you become kind of like an outlier and people are going to notice that. So typically when people get voted out, it usually ends up being unanimous because it's all communicated. But it's a game of strategy and social game as well. One thing that does, so basically they had it on Sunday, the head of household competition. On Wednesday, there's a joint called the veto competition. But basically you win the veto, you could basically take someone off the block or take yourself off the block, which is, you know what I'm saying? So that's how people, can stay alive. And then Thursday, they vote people out type shit. But it was dope, man. It's dope show. My first time watching it joint. It's been around for years. But really dope show. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I like it. I like it. So yeah, I've been watching Big Brother. Besides that, I finished up with the Gen Z, Gen X, whatever that joint called. Gen V. Yeah. That was a cool show. Yeah, in the universe, which is The Boys, I thought it was really a dope show. I did very much enjoy that. Yeah, that's about it for me. T, what are you watching? Usually be watching some good stuff.
Lately, I've been watching one show. I stopped because I thought it was so good. I actually wanted to catch up so we could watch it together. I think it's a really good show. I'm a sci-fi guy, but this isn't not really traditional sci-fi, but on Apple. And I believe I've only watched season 1, and they just get season 4. So typically, if you can make it to season 3 and 4, you've put out a solid so far. But it's about basically an alternate reality where to the moon before the United States, which changes the timeline drastically. Certain things that did happen don't, and certain things that didn't. For example, Nixon gets a second term. Like the timeline is crazy, but in a very, this isn't like some sort of comedy. This is a sci-fi drama, if you will. You can't beat space. Nothing creates tension, space, and submarine movies, man. It's just something about that guy, airlock, like that creates a ton of tension. Very good show, very well done, lots of good actors, well written. Netflix called The Blue Eye Samurai. Great work. It's a samurai anime since Afro Samurai. It's about a Japanese white girl that she's mixed, and then this is like in Japan where these are random rules that are not allowed in Japan at the time. So she's the product of a sexual, white man took advantage of her mother. So she seeks revenge on the exist in Japan. So it's a little bit of a John Wick type thing, but
I don't like it.
It's cool. It's cool. It's graphic, and she's just a beast. I might watch it twice. I have fun with that anime, The Blue Eye Samurai. So
what's that on?
Netflix.
Oh,
Samurai. I did see Gen V. Love Gen V. I hope they continue to that superhero universe. That's about the only superhero universe that I care about. Other than that, but yeah, the rest of superhero stuff's done. But in that, I've been watching game film and as much basketball as I can. The AAU team. So that's where I'm at with it.
I hear that. I'm gonna throw one more out. I haven't been watching it yet, but it's on my watch list. Is the new season of Loki? I heard it was really, really good ending. Really good ending of his character. Because he's obviously been around for a number of years through multiple movies, and we've seen him be a a villain, a jealous brother, and get smoked by Thanos, and weasel his way into still existing. And I heard it's got a good ending, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna get back on my Disney Plus wave, and we're gonna get on that Loki season 2.
It's not for me. It's not for me, but good things about it.
Yeah. No, I just want that'll be the final culmination of me giving a fuck about anything. Was it is that Marvel, right?
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I'm done.
Yep.
Other than that, I'm done with it. I don't give a damn about Marvel no more. They done. They done in my book. They done. All right. Great show, fellas. Great show. We feeling festive today. It's snowing, it's raining and snowing. And we out here. You know how we end every show though. We end every show. Sports